Dragon Ball Super episode 115, we saw a Super Saiyan God Goku losing to the fusion of Caulifla and Kefla, which was absolutely ridiculous. The fact that her base form was stronger than a Super Saiyan God is really just a testament to how strong the Potara fusion actually is. Speaking of Potara fusion, we finally did get some answers as to why and if it would be legal for other universes to use the Potara in the tournament. And that is because, well, Zeno said it's cool, so it's legal. Classic to the gods of destruction arguing over the semantics of the tournament. Beerus accuses Champa of cheating by using the Potara, but because Zeno says it's awesome, the Great Priest announces that Potara are allowed in the Tournament of Power. That immediately checks Beerus to go and grab the Kai's earrings right off his head, which was actually quite hilarious. Now, two of the other universes announced that they don't need Potara in order to fuse, the first being Universe 3, which is home to all of the machines. So we had estimated that there is a possibility that the machines could fuse and create some new super machine. And it looks like the machines that Goku and Caulifla were taking on, that Caulifla knocked away before they started their fight, weren't knocked off the ring, but they were just kind of knocked away into some mountains. And they'll probably return in a future upcoming episode in order to fuse and battle some other enemies. The God of Destruction Catella of Universe 4 announces that they don't need fusion either, and that's because there is two invisible bug-type characters on Universe 4 that seem to be brothers. They look identical, but they're different colors, and they will, I guess, have the ability to fuse later down the road. So there's still 20 minutes left in the Tournament of Power. That's plenty of time for more episodes, and it looks like these other universes are going to pull out their trump cards as well, utilizing fusion that they don't need Potara to do. So now that fusion is legal in the Tournament of Power and Beerus has two Potara at his disposal, they start debating what are their options, and the first thing that comes to mind is fusing number 17 and 18, which is really cool. This obviously, Krillin didn't like that too much, but this is something that we want to see more fusions, right? We wanted to see something different than besides just Vegeta or Gogeta all the time, and I think Android 35 was an awesome idea, but they kind of teased us with it and then dropped it completely. So we said that, remember, even if you fuse two warriors into one, that can actually have a negative effect, because then if they get knocked out, that's losing two people at once. And Beerus just says, forget the fusion. And it's like, come on, dude. Like, you just said in the last episode, or at least Vados just said, that you're adding their power levels together and then multiplying it times multiples of 10, okay, presumably 50. It's almost basically like multiplying the power levels times each other. So you're getting like a 50 times power boost with your two characters that you're fusing. And you're going to tell me, oh, no, let's not do it because then they can get knocked off at the same time. You're watching Kefla kick Goku's ass all over the place in base form as he's a god, and you're still saying forget the fusion. Like, that is just absolutely stupid. And when Whis was saying, oh, well, you know, it can have a negative effect because you can lose two people, I was like, oh, please don't let this be the reason that we don't get fusion on Universe 7. Like, that is the most moronic thing ever. Like, every other universe is obviously going to take advantage of this, but because Beerus wants to have more numbers on his team at the end of the time limit, you know, in order to win the entire tournament, he's not going to risk fusing characters and giving them like the most OP power boost in like the history of Dragon Ball. I mean, dumb. I don't know why they didn't recommend Goku and Vegeta fusing. But regardless, the good point is of all of this is that we could still see Vegito later down the road in the future of the tournament, or another fusion. We could still see Android 35, which would be awesome. I don't think it's going to be Android 35 because, spoiler alert, I think that Android 17 or 18 is going to be the one that sacrifices themselves on Universe 7. But regardless, it's nice to know that there are two Potara up on the bench that we can use on Universe 7 later down the road in this tournament. And there is always going to be that possibility until this entire tournament is over that we could see Vegito or another fusion coming out of Universe 7. What it really boils down to is, will Beerus get desperate enough to use the Potara? Is there going to be some moment later on in the episodes, later on in the tournament, where Universe 7 is on the ropes and Beerus is like, well, time to use the Potara. That's where I could see it actually happening. Alright guys, so let's continue with the episode review. So Goku is forced to turn into Super Saiyan Blue. Now, there's mixed things that we hear. We hear Champa say that Goku's still out of stamina, and then later we hear the bench on Universe 7 saying that he's regained all of his stamina. But regardless, in order to match Blue, Kefla turns into a Super Saiyan, and everybody is so surprised at how strong she is in just a regular Super Saiyan form. I don't even think she's Super Saiyan 2, but she's able to go toe-to-toe with Super Saiyan Blue full power Goku. Again, absolutely ridiculous. Goku even busts on the Kaioken during this fight, and Whis says that it's probably because he knew he couldn't win without it. Now, in my opinion, and this is the last time I'll talk about the power level nonsense, Goku Super Saiyan Blue full power Kaioken, he didn't announce what level of Kaioken it was, but we did see him power it up even more at one point in the episode, should literally erase her with a finger. That's the power difference. That's what the power difference should be. Thankfully, Goku does land 2 hits on Kefla and does some significant damage to her. So, I mean, that was pretty nice. But somehow she's able to get behind Goku and kick him forcefully in the head, which sends him flying. And it's like, come on, dude. And then he lands and he runs out of power. So he loses his Super Saiyan Blue at this point, and he's laying on the ground with no more Super Saiyan form on him. But thankfully, when he gets up and he has his head tilted down and you can't see his eyes, you're like, oh boy, is it coming? Is it coming? And sure enough, Kefla throws some blasts at him and his hair starts waving. The aura starts emanating out of Goku. And then he does this awesome little deflection of the blast. Super well animated and freaking awesome. Then he dodges some more blasts, and I want you guys to take note of this. Everybody who has said that Jiren does not have Ultra Instinct, take a look at what Goku is doing right now to these energy blasts, and then let's take a look back at episode 96 when the Gods of Destruction were sending the blocks around everywhere, and Jiren dodged them the exact same way. To me, this is almost pure confirmation that Jiren also has Ultra Instinct. In fact, Goku even says, I didn't see him move. Even everybody in the stands didn't see Goku dodge Kefla's blasts. It's identical. It's literally exactly the same. So there is no doubt in my mind that Jiren also has Ultra Instinct. After Goku dodges all of the blasts, they explode behind him, and then he slowly opens his eyes. A wave of power washes over him as he becomes Ultra Instinct. Now, a couple of things to take note of here. One, he still has the aura now that he's returned in Ultra Instinct. The aura had nothing to do with the Genki Dama specifically. Also, this gives us a little bit more information as to what the secret is behind Ultra Instinct, as this is the second time Goku has got it, and both times he was on the brink of like death. It seems that he gets Ultra Instinct when his body is so exhausted that he's technically unconscious, but his will to fight is so strong that his body is now moving on its own instinctually. That's the vibe that I'm getting, is this is not a form, at least he cannot yet transform into it like a Super Saiyan. It comes from a deep determination from within Goku to continue battling and never lose. Now, I think the entire purpose behind Goku going through all of his forms and fighting Caulifla was to set the benchmark and show how much stronger Ultra Instinct is over the rest of his forms. And I predict that in the next episode, he will not get touched by Kefla. Just knowing how the story writers are doing this entire arc, I just know that Goku will not get touched and he is going to be the victor using Ultra Instinct in the next episode. I was really happy that we got to see some more of the Vegeta vs. Topo fight. Unfortunately, it hasn't really heated up yet. I think they're still technically just feeling each other out in terms of power, and they haven't really gotten to the meat and potatoes of this fight. I'm hoping that eventually we will have an episode or two which focuses on Vegeta versus Topo. I mean, people really want to see this fight. I know I do, and I've seen people on Twitter. Everybody wants to see Vegeta and Topo go all out and take this to the end, and hopefully Vegeta knocks off Topo. Additionally, the way that they trash talk each other is actually awesome. I love the dialogue between the two, and it seems like they're pretty equal on power. So this is going to be a really hyped up fight. I just want to see more of it. Speaking of other fights going on, we got to see Gohan and Piccolo taking on the two Namekians again, which was nice. But again, it's kind of like the Vegeta versus Topo thing in that it's not like a full sequence of a battle. We're just getting little tidbits here and there of the battle essentially taking place off screen. Again, I hope that this is something that we get to see a finish to, which is like a whole episode worthy, but you never know. It could just end fairly quickly. Piccolo lets his guard down and he gets grabbed by one of the Namekians using their elastic arm technique, and it's at that point that Gohan steps in and uses Masenko, which was really nice. I love that technique out of Gohan. It's cool to see him bring back an old technique, and then steps on the Namekian's arm, Piranha, I believe his name was, and literally just cuts it off, which was brutal and awesome. I love seeing the brutality come back to Dragon Ball for a change. I mean, you can see this guy, like the guts hanging out of this guy's arm. That was pretty damn awesome. But he grows it back, which is something we're all too familiar with throughout Dragon Ball, which for some reason takes Gohan and Piccolo by surprise. I mean, you think that after Piccolo and after Cell, you know, like they would be used to this by now, but for whatever reason, it takes him by surprise. And that's pretty much all we get for this fight in the episode. Overall, I mean, the action sequences between these two Namekians and Gohan and Piccolo have been really good so far. The animation has been top notch, and it seems like it's a really good, almost even battle between the two of them, even though it shouldn't be. Gohan and Piccolo should be able to erase these guys just by looking at them. But regardless, I still am enjoying this fight, and I want to see more of it. So hopefully one of these episodes down the line, we get, you know, some nice climactic episode of the finishing battle between this 2 versus 2. But we didn't see anything in the spoilers about it. So it's possible that they may just maintain the episodes doing this whole, you know, give us 2 minutes of these side battles going on. Also another huge possibility. Hopefully it doesn't go that direction. All right, guys, that's all I have for this review today. I think I covered just about everything. We got some important pieces of information and a lot of things to look at through the cracks. Overall, pretty good episode. Ridiculous cauliflower. Nice to see Ultra Instinct back. Nice to see Vegeta versus Topo and also Gohan and Piccolo versus the Namekians. So we did get fed some quality content in this episode and it was pretty good. I know everybody's excited for the next episode. I already did my episode preview yesterday, so make sure you go check that out. I'll also link it at the end of this video as they give us what everybody wants to see, more Ultra Instinct. All right, guys, that's it for me. Have a wonderful day, and I'll be talking to you soon.